Yep. All right, we're good.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everyone. Roll call please.
Mr. Gloria,
Here.
Mr. Blanton,
There.
Mr. Robinson,
Here.
All right, we're going to do an administrative report, go straight to the investigation.
Actually, why don't we
I
let
would
Mark
just,
go so he can get out?
yeah, I think so too. Mark, you want to go ahead?
To get the board up to speed on the parking lots for the Atlantic Township West Park. These are the plans as we have them right now. We're looking to polish these up and finish sometime early next week here. And then when they go over some timeline, maybe and all that. You know, we can go through this.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So the parking lot that's going to be built is going to be just north of the existing engine basin. We had one heck of a time, and Jim was also trying to find a design data on it, and we could not log in. Nowhere to get. So that kind of delayed us a little bit, but we have a plan to go ahead and finish that unit up. We're going to use that existing basin for this cart service. Currently, if you go to page 2, that shows the parking lot that we have designed and rated. And right now we have 54 spaces located in this. And we show a walking path that will go through the center of it for ultimately connectivity to the park and to whatever connection down south towards the school. So for this project, we're mainly focusing just on this parking lot, designing it for this future connectivity. We also provide some screens for the islands because in case the school they don't put traffic lighting in it. Just for in case there needs to be a electric light that would go underneath there. It could also be a solar lights too, so she would be if that's desired. So this plan does not have any landscaping on it. We're simply just proposing the pavement and grassy seed, and then that's it. There's one thing that if you look at page 2, off to the lower area, there's a hatch there. Everybody can see kind of a hatch that's in between, like where the football field is. That is a thermo piping system for the school that's underneath it. And we are not excavating in that, so we're not jeopardizing that. We will do a little bit of filling with it, so I'm not worried about that. But the contract is going to be very good for it. Fair warning about that. If you go to the back page here, the very last one, you see an aerial photo. With this parking lot, we have to shift, and this has always been known, we have to shift the practice football field and reposition it further south. And we have the boxes showed on there for the 2 soccer fields that are along the south area. So it will work through there. That can happen. And then there's always talk about a baseball field. I'm just sticking this on here just for exhibit purposes. So this is the work the school is going to do in terms of relocating that practice football field. They will have to move those the end zone bars and all.
Right.
So
Goalposts.
the goalposts, yeah. So I wanted to kind of point that out because I think this has been kind of discussed in the past, and I just wanted to have it on here so any more discussion people can see it because it keeps being brought up to me, and I'm like, I don't have anything on it. So I wanted to kind of include that in this package. It won't be part of the construction drawing. building from a contractor. But in the parking lot, currently there's,
I think, you know, too much, but we need. I know you've got a crosswalk through the parking lot. We need, but I don't see anything that comes out onto our side connecting it to the pathway.
that was never discussed to do it. I mean, we can stick it on there now, yeah.
Can we add that on? Because if they still have access if they're in a wheelchair or have a hard time walking, get out to the road and then onto the path. But I think that maybe that's something we should look at. It's not very long and it wouldn't cost that much to put that in. And that's not a real bad area there to stay up on that hill and run it over to the path. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I think, what you guys think?
so
Do you think so?
you want us to go ahead and connect it to the existing path? I think what probably the most.
Yeah, it's short. We use it.
What about in the corner here? It's close. Oh, I thought you meant.
Oh, no, I was talking about there. Oh, having it over in the corner. We could do that. I'm not opposed to that either.
Real quick, let me ask you guys. So here, look at it. Right now. It'd be a very flat surface.
That would say one over.
Well, I mean, yeah, this will be a little bit steeper through here. But
Or we could go to the corner and just connect like what.
well, we got the spots are located here. We want to try to get this located as easy travel. It's easy, flattest travel we can get, even though it's a little longer than
And it's pretty flat there.
yes. So that's what I would recommend. I mean, just go ahead and tie it in to maybe here or just kind of.
We have people that cut across this,
We can add that in. It's not a problem, so.
it'll still be very minimal amount of money, right?
If I start really high.
Well, I would be fair.
No, it's not gonna.
It's not gonna $100,000. So, can you look at both of them? Can you look at that? I'd rather stay that, but can you look at one like next talking about? Because it comes right there, it's connected it there, but then you do already have that in, like you said, they come out there. And you come out there. So just look at it. And
I think,
let's look at it.
because if people are walking along here, if this gets built ultimately through here, because this is not part of the plan,
Right.
this, they'll ultimately just kind of build it.
Walk in there, and right, then we'll have to know when you come out.
Right. You want me to go ahead and look at it or just include it? I mean, I'll just put it.
I would like to just include it if,
What is minimal? Just total guess, like. You say minimum additional costs, additional minimum. I just, I think it's this. I just say, that's fine.
It could be 5,000. Yeah. It's going to follow the existing terrain.
yeah, and it would be a promotion to make it better accessibility to the park, which is the overall goal of this. For the bleachers, that cut path right there, when they come out of that parking lot straight over there, the bleachers are right there.
Okay. Then we could add
And
that.
then the bleachers for the other field are right there also. So they're back to back, so it makes it more accessible to, somebody, that person, with somebody having a hard time walking.
Okay. We can then go ahead and add that if the words go to that.
Do we need to vote on that?
I don't think so for the design.
I think we're okay.
You're just giving me a little bit of direction on that piece of this.
Okay.
So the existing parking stalls that are there, we have to remove about 8 of them. 6 of them will still stay there. The handicap spots will still stay there around that mark of the road.
Right.
The irrigation that line that goes, is that being used? Is that actually live, the irrigation line that was constructed or going to be constructed there that never got constructed? Maybe, I don't know. For
I'm
the
not
soccer
sure.
fields?
I don't even
The
know
school
what you're
Right,
talking about,
the
Mark.
soccer fields, Miami Township, that's part.
there's no sprinklers on those practice fields.
Okay, because I know at one point, I
I
thought the township was talking to a contractor to do that. And I know
On the park or the school?
a park soccer.
Oh,
On the other side?
Yeah.
Oh, that, I do not
There's
know.
sprinklers over.
I don't think so.
on the West Park soccer fields? Yeah, there's sprinklers
There's
on there.
sprinklers.
I've never seen it running.
Yeah, they're early in the morning.
Yeah, they do.
They're all-
Yeah, they do.
So it is.
The baseball fields.
Yeah, they're used all the time.
Okay,
The water's on like early in the morning when I go to school, I see them on. Yeah.
okay,
Just so the school is okay with, on board with moving practice field
that's what's always talked about,
over, and
I understand, yes.
that'll be.
I think at this meeting, I need to go ahead and fire the server, Dr. Holt. It was where that was discussed. That was that discussed. Otherwise, you can't get the park. I mean, we still got the parking back, but we were just trying to maximize.
Just so you know, Alex is working on the actual agreement still with this, so they're gonna include the access in the lease agreement. So we'll get this added in with that, so it'll all be in one document and be done.
I still need to go ahead and submit for storm drainage system, the detention. However, I think that's going to stop us from get the bidding for here. So we had to get a floodplain permit, which is going to be permitted. We're going to be okay there. Stormwater drainage system, earthwork permit, that's going to be okay. We don't need to do what is an NOI, the state permitting, because we're less than an acre. What I was looking for, and I'll work through this with Mr. Bratz on this, is to put it out to bid next Friday, the 13th. We could, if this board so chooses wants to proceed with that. We would have a bid opening on October 4th, award on the no later than the 11th. Now I can move these up a week if you got your meeting on the first Wednesday. If need be.
We do.
Okay. We got to establish that, so we can move that up a week to accomplish this board accepting, approving the contractor. And then they would be awarded the 11th, or if we bump it up a week. When would be your next meeting?
First one said,
I think November 6th would be our.
Okay, so I could bump that up to, yes, I think, yeah.
6th.
or October.
It's
I
not.
thought we were talking October.
October is the
You're
second.
talking. November.
Your first, when is your first, is it the 9th is your first?
October is second.
October the 3rd, it looks like, or second.
So we'll get the bids due on the 27th, because it's really a pretty simple construction. It shouldn't take a long to be able to put a bid together. And then we'll bump that up, we'll bump the other dates up, where,
So we'll have it then like the 2nd,
the 27th,
27th, and we'll be able to,
approve, the board can approve on the
the 2nd.
on the 2nd, yeah.
Okay.
And then they can start the week of the 7th. And then we could have a completion date of November 22nd. And, depending on weather, sometimes it pushes into the middle of December for construction. But this is pretty simple construction, actually. So I think the local contractors, paving contractors around can handle this, anybody can handle this, and we can certainly just go out to, sending the notices to, certain paving contractors that we feel that can really do this work. We send that out to them for the bids and all, what they're doing.
Okay.
Is there any other questions on the land itself? I know you're just seeing it now. But any other concerns? And as Mike had mentioned, I will call this girl, Dr. All. I show this what's going on here, so.
I may want to say, you may want to put some garbage cans up, those areas.
We will.
Yeah.
So garbage cans gonna have their bills out.
Oh, I understand,
So,
but you know how people are.
but we'll get them out. So, but I love the, accessibility for the sidewalk, not sidewalk walking trail. So I think that's gonna be great.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Mark?
On that note, I, on the, Pat and June Park, they did start yesterday. They started clearing, they're probably clearing the heck out of it right now today. I am getting their shop drawings submitted for, ordering all materials and all. I should be getting all that done today and tomorrow and Friday probably. And, they're gonna, with the amount of work that they have to do on the site to set it up, they may have a little bit of delay, just in my opinion, while they wait for some of this material. And, you know, that's never gonna happen. So there may be some days where it's like around out there that they're waiting for materials. I mean, so that's the one thing Jim and I will push on, is just to keep pushing on them, make sure they get that in, because those materials will order. So the first one they submitted to me wasn't the building, shop drawings for the pavilion, and I'll review this tomorrow and get that over.
So those are coming in kind of a la carte, piece by piece, as far as we're approving, or that's already.
No, you already approved all this. What the shop drawings are is a technical spec that I review and say, yes, it'll work. This is acceptable.
Okay.
And before they actually go and have somebody build it.
Great. Any other further discussion for Mr. Martin? All right, thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we're going to go to the administrator's report, Mr. Brian.
Yeah, so, I'll start with the Gulf Water Fill Station. At the very back of your packet is probably a 95% complete submittal that I plan to take to the Ohio EPA to have that done. I got to get a check from Cindy, but that won't be hard. So I'm short a couple of ID numbers, so that's what we'll be taking to them. I have examples for them. I have pages maps and plat maps from the auditor's office. I'm hoping they'll accept those so we don't have to have Mark come out and actually do a survey and locate this. So, but hopefully we get an okay on that when I take it up. On the Jordan Road water line, JSL with the holiday got a little bit behind. We were supposed to meet today and I couldn't do that. I got held up. Hopefully we'll have that advertised in the paper as soon as they inquire. It will accept it, whatever that is after tomorrow. I think it's 3 days. Probably won't make it for this weekend, but we'll get it in at least one day next week plus the weekend. Sunday probably seems to be the best day. So we can put it in like a Wednesday, Friday, and a Sunday. We'll get it in. So,
But the latest will be next week.
he told me today that he thought we could finish it up tomorrow.
No, I mean,
Get it in, yeah. Get it in the paper. Yeah.
All right.
So, the wind damage at West Park, I thought this was gonna be about over because we're down to getting trees. So when Mills Fence came to fix the outfield fence, when they pulled the post out of the ground, the post had somehow gotten lowered down to right on top of the irrigation lines.
Oh.
So when they pulled the concrete out, the irrigation line came with it.
That's why we're not seeing any water.
Well, they're hand watering the outfield because I told them, I said, the last thing we wanted is a big brown spot. And they said, no problem. Yeah, we'll, thank nature and God above for some cooler weather, so it won't be as hard on the grass. But, so what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna have Ken Nyer come over and just trench outside of the fence line and then just stub over to the existing hub, so it won't be an expensive cost, part of the insurance claim. Just, I have pictures of it if you'd like to see it. It was funny that they happened to, I mean, if they augured another turn with the auger, they would have augured through them at that time. So let's see. Mark just talked about the permitting of the parking lot. We had an issue with our insurance switch, and this is my fault. When we did the insurance contract, I'm sorry, the union contract, I looked at it and said, oh, this is good, we can change insurances. And so we want to, we hadn't priced the insurance for the township for some time, so we want to do that. What I didn't notice was that they had the right to form a committee and review any changes. So we were 99% of the way into the change, and the chief got a call and they said, hey, nobody told us about this, we have the right to look at this, so we put it on hold. It's on hold for 30 days. They assured us when we put this on hold that there would be no issues. Well, there have been issues. The chief has dealt with issues. Captain Yanko is just over. He's the president of the union right now. He's gotten some calls. Most of it is just people trying to go access their stuff online and see what's going on, and they can't access it. I was kind of swamped today, so Kim made a couple calls to Nest for me. They're fixing it. Everybody still has coverage. There's no issues with coverage. But we've got to get everything straightened out so that when they go to the pharmacy, they're not told you're not covered, and then they have to make a call. So we're going to we sent out an email telling everybody that they'd be with the anthem for another month. I'm sending out another apology email to our union members this afternoon. Kim and I are working on a draft that as we came in. And I just told it's on me. I own this one, my mistake. So, but we're fixing. So, not costing it, we're actually saving a little money on the dental and life and everything. And, and hopefully the dental is a little better because dental insurance, as my daughter, who's a hygienist, says, stinks anyway. But this is supposed to be a better dental plan, according to her and the dentist that I go to.
For the most part, their co-pays are going down a little bit.
That was the biggest advantage I saw with the new Aetna plan is co-pays went down on our drugs and things, and I thought that was good. And I think that's a part of insurance that most people use when you get sick or have a cold or you have a condition. So hopefully we're going to save some money there.
So if we can just continue to communicate with the employees,
Yeah.
Account them apprised of any developments.
They're going to pick a committee of 5 or 6 people that'll work on it with us. The biggest question that we've had so far is my doctor going to be in the new plan? We've asked Nest for a list of doctors in the Aetna plan, and a list of who was in the Aetna plan, so they'll be able to access that and compare and make sure that their doctor's in there. Obviously, no guarantee that someone won't have a doctor that's not in there. Somewhat like there's no guarantee even of a better prescription plan that you won't have one prescription that goes up. That happened to me when Whitewater switched mine. I went in, something I've been paying $10 for years, went to like $200, and I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, did you try Kroger RX? And I'm like, this is Kroger's. I said, yeah, but you have to join Kroger RX and you can get a better deal. And she's like, let me look. Oh, yeah, it's only $3 if you do Kroger RX. you've been charging me 10, and I'm at Kroger's, but, so, prescription drugs, and, I talked to one of the firemen today who, that he never uses our insurance. He uses Good RX for all of his because it's cheaper. This way his work out. Anyway, so, but I'm fixing that, you don't need to worry about it until I can't fix it, then you'll have to fire me and fix it. I just wanted to mention again on township finances, we do have another ambassadors meeting coming up on September the 28th at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. The focus of that is going to be, and it's open to everybody, to talk about how we are going to spend money from our levies to support our fire department and police service. And also to remind everybody that Cindy and I are inviting folks in for coffee with Cindy and Jim, who just talked about finances in general. We'll be here 4 different dates. Tuesday, September 10th from 9 to 11. Wednesday, September 18th from 3 to 5. Tuesday, October 8th from 9 to 11. And Wednesday, October 16th from 3 to 5. And if those dates don't, those are just pop-in dates. All you have to do is stop by. If you want to see us sometime other than that, call us and set up an appointment. We'll be glad to see you anytime.
You can post those on the board up here.
That's a good idea. They're on the
Yeah,
website.
they're on the website.
I know, but more.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
The door.
yeah, put them on the door. Yeah. So, and I think we'll get the ambassadors meeting on the sign, senior center. So, and that's really all I have other than moving on to the new business. Unless you have questions for me.
No questions, no questions. Let's go to the new business.
So, this is a request from the chief. He's been able to get Stryker, who services our AEDs, our cardiac monitors, Lucas devices, CPR devices. He was able to come to a 4-year agreement with them and lock in a price now that gives us a 15% discount off the current price. Cost per year for that is $16,915.85. 4-year cost is $67,663.40. Will be a big cost savings for us. So my recommendation would be to go ahead and approve and enter that contract.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the Stryker, the 4-year service agreement, include the AED cardiac monitor, with the CPR devices.
And I can ask, just so these are things we've done in the past, correct? I mean,
So that's the thing, we've never had a service agreement before. Our stuff is kind of midlife, I guess, and we're starting to make one diamonds, and I think having a service agreement that covers parts and warranties and just wear and tear generally is going to save us money. This is our COTS, our power load system, already these cardiac monitors, but just about the CPR devices, all that stuff. We cover under this.
so you see this as a cost savings?
Oh,
Perfect. And so more efficient and savings money.
I look back the past couple of years, we've been, and some of it was due to replacement stuff, but we've been spending well above $20,000 and more with them every year. Just on things that this would cover.
Whoever second.
Mr. Boring?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Next on our list is
Will that start this year? When will that contract start? Well, will they charge us here or upfront?
so
here.
it'll be annually.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it'll start as soon as we get this back to them.
Okay, so I'll need to do I'll need to do a.
Yeah, I'll be in
Okay,
contact.
okay. Oh, I didn't get that. I'm sure it's in there. Okay, sorry,
No, you're okay.
thank you.
So I want to ask the same question about this one. The second request we have is for a 1-year service contract with Mobilecom on our radios that covers operations, testing, preventative maintenance, service calls during standard business hours. The cost for that is $6,033 a year. And I will just say that Mobilecom has a monopoly on servicing these radios, and this is a big savings to us to have this contract in place.
I'll make a motion to go with the, Mobilecom 1-year servicing agreement.
Second,
Mr. Volrath?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes,
Mr. Robinson?
yes.
So I have two additions that were options for the Past June Memorial Park that we talked about. I believe we intended to include them, but they didn't get put into the final bid packet. And Mark Butts, he won't be able to explain these as well as I can, or I won't be able to explain these as well as he can. But there is a 300-foot Adventureland play mound, which is the same material that the artificial surface is made out of, for a cost of $14,932. And a second additional, it's called a stepper play mound, that is $22,296. So these are two areas that we originally planned to include these. They then got taken out and put in as an option. But this is more of that artificial area, so less area for the maintenance folks to take care of, and areas that the kids play on. I'm told that well, I know from where I take my grandkids, they love these little things. So my recommendation would be that we add those to the June part. And I realize you just got these. If you want to put that off until next meeting, feel free to.
we had them with the original drawings, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's discuss it, talk about it, under why they were left out. But it takes up that dead space we have, is that my understanding correctly?
Yeah, most of it.
So I'm fine with that. I don't know if you have any questions, any discussion about it?
Well, I would just say, that I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, I don't know what those are, just to visualize.
Well, they're a playground, they're a picture land, they're like it's full anything, get on them, right? It's a big mountain, right?
Yeah, just raised areas.
They're both play sets.
They can. I'm sorry, I thought the photos were included, and apparently they weren't.
If they were.
And if they weren't, I can run and get them. Apparently I just included. This got pretty small. If we moved on. Would you like to see what they're?
Yeah.
This you should have. Let me go grab.
I mean, if you want to do the rest, and then while we're talking about other things.
Yeah, we could go back to that. We have executive session scheduled. I think go get it there. We could deal with it then.
That's fine. You want to get back to it or
So
move forward on it?
where
It's the highlighted areas.
is there a picture of, or just,
I'll have to get you a picture of what they are.
So there's one area, I see one highlighted, where's the other one?
It's to the right, it's pretty hard to see.
and where does this bring us on this part, do we know? Just,
And it's what?
where does this bring us in, like, total?
Total,
Oh, I do.
I'll have to grab it for it.
If you like, and grab it, tell it.
Yeah, maybe when we're in executive session, we can grab that.
Yeah, let me get it
Back
all
up
over
and-
the next session.
That's fine.
Finding
We can do
something,
that.
I guess, to the kids who going through a bird building.
Mr. Brett, when we go into executive session,
I'll
we'll
go.
grab it then, and then when we come back out, we'll
Yeah.
discuss it and move forward or not move forward.
So, next thing on our agenda is, a spot that's become a pretty big spot on Whispering Farms Drive. We have a quote from Three Rivers Blacktop to repair that at $14,550.
Tim, what did you say? I'm sorry. 14,500, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Or I thought you said something else. All right, any discussion? I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve the Three Rivers Blacktop at 14,550 for Whispering Farm Drive. Okay.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Bollray,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes. That's just road repair, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just a spot that, it's actually not where the road slippage was, which Mr. Miller and I have looked at addressing that area next year. We wouldn't have time to settle in the new shaft wall. So, but this is separate from that.
Okay.
So, next on the list is, Mr. Miller's retirement and, a replacement for him and any other open positions that would be created by, replacing him from within. So my recommendation would be to, hold that for an executive session to discuss employment. Is that enough?
Agreed. All right, do we need to do anything else in this session? Do we, does anybody from the public want to address the board before we do an executive session?
Yeah.
Brooks?
You talk to the maintenance there and he's got that water, old water.
And sat in John's office with him Thursday or Friday. I have to look at the date on the pictures because I had to have pictures to take with me to the EPA. So yeah,
Man, he pretty much told you where you're wanting to do it. It ain't gonna be able to be done. You got all that electric running through there. And then that's up at his parking place that we just told you yesterday.
I don't believe it's the best location, but it's where the mayor would like to see it put, which is where the old system was. And I can show you where I was told it was going to be because the remnants of the old station are still there. That corner, that's where the dumpsters are.
Yeah, now, if you put it down there, you're behind that big fuel tank. It ain't gonna
Yep.
work. You'll be working your butt off because everybody be knocking it off. I mean, why you don't go to the other side of the parking lot, take the fence down to where people can just pull in, they're not backing in by all that.
I asked. That's where I was told it was to go.
And John even agreed, you're right, that's where it should be, over there. But, well, he said you didn't want to dig that.
It's gonna be done no matter what. Matter of fact, it would be easier for me to put it on the other side. It would be easier for you to get to put it on the other side.
Because on Chuck's thing, you have to put a building on. I mean, it's,
This is, so the board knows that was thing sticking up there where the old station used to be. You could pass that down. So, I agree, it's not a good location.
Is that gonna be the best location for us? And is that in our, that's our,
That was the location that I was told that it needs to go where the old one went, that's where it was. I've asked and I don't want to delay the project anymore.
I mean, here's my take, if I may. I feel like there's the issue of where is it best to go? But then if we're gonna move it all and switch it all over to another place, another location, then that delays it. So no one on this board wants to delay it, but we also want it where it's going to be most efficient, most effective, most easily accessible for you guys to use. And that's the dilemma that I see this board having to deal with, because certainly we all want water to be in yesterday. But it's, do we, how quickly can we do it if we go to plan B or plan C, or maybe it was plan A all along, but we were told that wasn't doable.
Even if,
Finally, you're out, to be honest, it should be down in the west part, at the far end, the backside, which it'd be easy as an idiot can put in there. I mean, where you should want to put it, you're spending $100,000 in cleats again, for cleats to go, I mean, straight up, I already know what's gonna happen, it's gonna become a problem. But then, where you should want to put it, that John's right, you got people backing big trucks in, it'd be like asking him to back up to it with a fire truck. They go off of that wall, they're on top of that oil drum. To back in around it, you're backing around 5,000
The
gallons.
EPA's got to approve it first anyway, right?
yes, I expect the EPA that I had to have. I'm literally down to, I'm working on what's online available because nobody can find, despite what you might have heard. I've looked. Their acting administrator, Rob Merkel, who is their solicitor, went through plans with me. Cindy was there. She went through plans that day, the last time I was down. Nobody can find plans to those buildings. They don't know. Rusty is the best guess at what's where down there. He doesn't recommend that it go there either. So, but I'm gonna get something approved, and if I have to just get a move approved, I can probably do that.
With Earl would be the one you're talking to. Now, he's retired, but he should be able to get a hold of Earl. He knows it all. He knows everything about all of it.
Well, and I would tend to, I mean, it carries more weight, somebody that's been in that business and knows, you know, the logistics rather than elected officials. I mean, we do the best we can to make the best decisions we can, but I'd rather rely on somebody that's been there, done that, and knows the situation than,
I put
somebody
my,
that's brand new and elected.
I put my operator ID on our contact information. And well, it's not as hard to get a water operator's license as it used to be. It's still not easy. And I was told by an inspector at the Ohio EPA, put your license on there and they'll at least talk to you about it. So my license number, if you look at the front page of that middle packet, has my personal water operator license number on it. I'm putting everything I can in the feet, just getting it approved.
Well, I mean, I agree with that. We want to move forward, but we also don't want to spin our wheels and then 6 months later have to meet it again.
Well, I don't want it. I don't want John's fuel tank getting knocked over. There's the front page.
All right, is there anything else, Mr. Moreland?
Yeah, the two additional costs for the playground. You said it was originally on the plans, but for some reason it was not included. It comes up to over 37,000. The issue I'm wondering is the contractor aware of this? He's already gave you a bid to construct this park. Now, how much more does he want to install?
I don't think.
That's the installed price.
That is
Oh, it is
installed.
the installed price, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And the township is buying the playground equipment. The contractor has no markup in it,
right.
correct?
Right, we're buying that through the state purchasing price, so that price has been compared to by the state approved, so we don't have to take that out for bid. They've already done that process for us.
So the area where these are going, someone just has to notify the contractor, or he has been notified that that's where they're gonna go. He'll prep that area.
Yeah.
For most likely no additional cost.
Right, there won't be any work for him. He's sitting on top of what's already there.
And the second thing is, if I heard you correctly, you're gonna work on Witchspring Farm. Does that do where Scherzinger has your equipment, split or an additional area?
So this is up the hill from there.
But there is damage for Scherzinger, but
There was some slippage there, that's why we had to do that, repair. So
correct.
you can see where the road was starting to slip away, and we'll have to fix that next year.
And that was not in Scherzinger's bid either, correct? That's up to the township to take care of all the pavement.
Yeah, and it wasn't caused by Schrödinger. That's the wall that Schrödinger installed for us was to stop that problem.
All right, thank you.
That's a good question. And if they had screwed something up, they would have paid for it.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Boyce, I'm at 47 Pontius Avenue, Place, Ohio. And I resigned from the Village Council due to health reasons. Please, I was trying not to pay too much attention, so I found out there was not going to be a levy in the Village of Cleves Fire. I think you have an excellent fire department, and I have asthma, and I've used your fire department in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I know it's rare for a citizen to come and ask, vote for a levy, but vote to pay more taxes, but I would be happy to pay taxes for your fire levy. And most citizens don't know this. I mean, I just read your minutes, where our mayor said that there would be no levy. What could the citizens do? I mean, we got 4,000 citizens there.
Can I interject? He's afraid that we're not gonna pass our levy. That was the reason for the 2 million. That's what he said.
Never been on the agenda.
No,
It's never been discussed in public. It's not been on any public agenda.
he went down there and talked to him, and then that's when they decided that.
One person decided it. Without any.
The council, the
I think
council
the
as
whole
well.
council decided
The
that.
whole
They
council.
didn't want to, we asked them, made a request, correct me if I'm incorrect on that. And the chief also, but we gave them an amount. Mr. Brett, you want to comment on this? Because
Yeah, so
they
what
were notified.
what happened was, as our finance committee here looked at what we need to run the fire department and where we're at with what we charge for contracts, they made a recommendation that the township request 3 mills in addition from our township voters and 2 additional mills from each of the 3 villages.
That was in April, correct?
Was before April, and actually it was brought up originally at the Police Finance Committee meeting in April. I don't recall what month Chief Cuban and I went.
At the end of May, I think.
No, like May. We attended the meeting, explained the need for the increase, and we tried to answer every question there was. I sat there for some time, and then we heard later through the grapevine that Mr. Burkholz, or Mayor Burkholz, decided not to ask council to place it on the ballot. So, well,
To see what happens with the levy.
he said to see what happens here. However, what we charge for contracts doesn't necessarily have anything to do with our levy. So, what my recommendation is to the board that we just say, okay, well, let me do the 2-minute Reader's Digest version of how we got here. So the current situation that we're in with the 2 mills, additional, plus the original contract the village police had. The township came to the village, I was the fiscal officer at that time in the village. Said to Mike Rahal, the administrator, we need to pass 2 more mills, that's what it's gonna take for a contract. Timing was a little late, which is why we got such an early notice this year. Because I said it's not fair to have special meetings and, let people think that you're pushing a levy through without letting them know. So we let everybody know early what we needed. So when the last time, it was 2 mills. So the village collected $10 for their 2 mills. They paid $10. If they collected $12, they paid $12. I thought that was a very fair option that Miami Township gave the villages. So, but we received some criticism from Cleve saying, why didn't you just pick an amount? And now I believe what this board is going to have to decide is, are we just going to say to the villages, regardless of whether your levy passes or not, this is what we have to charge for fire service? I can tell you, based based on conversations here, I don't think anybody wants to go that route. But I feel like Mayor Burkholz is kind of forcing their hand into making that decision. Obviously, you know, the folks in North Bend asked, when we went there, they asked very good questions. They were very professional. Addison didn't ask us to come. I think they decided they're going to pay for it another way. They have a renewal on the ballot. But I feel like Miami Township is being forced into a corner to not be able to say, we'll take whatever you get from 2 mills. We're going to have to set an amount and say that's going to be it. And, you know, your problem come up with the money. And that's, I think, while that's probably the best way for Miami Township, I think the way the trustees did it in the past was a very fair way to the villages. And I was on that side when that happened. So, but that'll be a decision they're going to have to come to and soon.
Is there anything an average citizen can do?
Go to the meeting.
I've been reading minutes, so I understand what you just said. I've been reading minutes.
And it's too late to do anything this year. You can go to the council meetings and you know, since you served, it's too late. It's, I think, August 4th or something, but,
What about next spring?
yeah.
In the spring?
They can definitely still do it then.
I can tell you, because I know that you're a supporter of the fire department from my time at Place. Well, you know that, the elected officials are very limited in what they can do, just presenting facts. We do have a committee that's formed, a political action committee to support that level. And if you'd like to get in contact with them, we can give you a number to get in contact with them. If you'd like to help in any way, your help would be appreciated.
Well, I think your fire department's excellent and your emergency medical technicians are excellent too, you know, so.
Should be a no-brainer, I think. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Fire department, police department should be number one. But thank you.
Thanks for being engaged.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right, do we have a motion for executive session? Oh, I'm sorry, the wording. We need the wording?
Right, is there a certain?
Can you read it into the motion?
To consider the appointment, employment, discipline, special promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Were you finished?
Yeah.
All right. We'll make that a motion to go into executive session. I'll second.
All right. Mr. Borat?
Yeah.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Back in executive session. We need a motion to go, I guess, back into
Yeah.
original session. I'll make a motion to go back in. Original session. I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Borat?
Yeah.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes. All right, first order of business, I'm gonna make a motion to move forward with the addition of Pat and June Memorial Park, 300 square foot Adventureland playground cost, $14,932, and second edition, left or stepper playground cost of $22,296 for a total of $37,228, and I'll make that a motion to move forward with that. I will second.
Okay, Mr. Borat?
Yes.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
I think we may want to note in the minutes that trustee Robinson had to leave. And he was the one who was asking about the playground equipment.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so
The prior engagement, so
Yeah.
Mr. Brett, we defer to you. A recommendation.
After listening to your discussion in the executive session regarding the replacement of Ron Miller as service maintenance director, I believe the consensus seemed to be to appoint Wayne Miller to that position, contingent upon his acceptance of a salary or hourly rate.
salary or hourly rate negotiated by me. And, to start immediately on a 3-month probation period. And to also promote current, maintenance worker Ryan. What is Ryan's last name?
Hoffman.
Hoffman. How many times did we say that in there? To promote Ryan Hoffman to the assistant maintenance supervisor position, at a salary to be negotiated by me. And, for a 3-month probation period starting immediately after their acceptance.
I'll make that a motion. It was read into the record by Mr. Brett.
I will second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Walren?
Yes.
Mr. Bland?
Yes. Any more business?
No.
All right, motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All right, Mr. Walren?
Yes.
Mr. Bland?
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kim.